Good morning, friends. When I say that we eat this breakfast almost every single day, I am not exaggerating. So bagel, if you haven't seen those yet, I'll have the video linked so you can see how to make them. They're so crazy easy. I think it's 3 ingredients and they are the best texture. No boiling either. We've got our cottage cheese eggs. This is some chicken sausage that we get at Whole Foods. And then I've got my coffee with my collagen in it. All right, this is a quick lunch that we all like. I've got some Just Bare chicken tenders in the air fryer, and I'm gonna take some tortillas and just heat them up in a pan. We have this lunch probably maybe like 2 times a week or so. I like to change it up, but this is a really simple one. So throw your tortilla in a pan. Then I take my chicken tenders and just cut it up into pieces in the tortilla. Sometimes we add cheese, sometimes we don't, but I have it out, so I might as well add it. This right here is the Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce with avocado oil. So take some of that. And you can toss the chicken in it if that's your preference. I've done that before too. If I'm making a bunch of them, sometimes I'll do that. But I just do like this, however much you want. And then another good addition is just a little touch of ranch, because that buffalo and ranch goes really well together. And that's it. Then these tortillas are a little smaller, so I won't be able to wrap it into a burrito, but just kind of like taco or fajita form. And lunch is served. Super easy. All right, we are getting ready to head out to baseball, but I need to make dinner before that happens. So we're making somewhat of a 3-ingredient meal tonight. I've made this one several times. When I need to throw together something quick, this is the way to do it. So I've got some Italian sausage here, and I'm just gonna cut it into bite-sized pieces and throw it over here into this pan. And then I'm gonna let this cook a little bit, and kind of any of the fat that it releases into the pan, I'm gonna use that to cook the potatoes. If you wanna cook your potatoes first, that's fine. I just like to use the fat from this, so I'll show you what we do. Super easy to do though. And I think, did I say this? It's about 3 ingredients. You can make it about 3 ingredients. So I'm gonna use 5 of these. The pack that we buy that we end up repackaging, it has an odd number, which is so strange to me. We get it at Sam's Club, but it has an odd number of Italian sausages. So when we repackage it, some of them get 4, which is what we need, and some of them end up getting 5. So let me just take this over to the stove, and I'm just gonna let it start to heat while we cut up the potatoes. All right, I have a lot of potatoes that I went ahead and washed. I don't know that we're gonna use all of these in this recipe, but I wanted to just go ahead and get them prepped just in case. So I'm just gonna cut these into bite-sized pieces. And I like to go a little smaller, because if they, the smaller they are, the faster they'll cook. And we really need to leave in about 45 minutes, which means dinner needs to be cooked and we need to have eaten in that amount of time. Okay, I really think that is probably more than enough. And I got a lot of potatoes left, but I'm just gonna wait. All right, this is pretty cooked. It's gonna go back into the pan in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and just set it out onto a plate for the time being while we cook the potatoes. I'm gonna try and add the potatoes without splashing myself. Nice. Now, I'm not calling this next thing an ingredient, because most people, I feel like, probably have chicken broth or bone broth or even water on hand. It doesn't have to be a broth. I just feel like bone broth potatoes steam up really well. So first, let's get them coated in that extra fat that's left over from the Italian sausage, and then I'm gonna put some bone broth in there. It's gonna steam them, and I really like how they turn out. So turn my heat back up a little bit. I'll pour in some bone broth, maybe like 1/4 to 1/2 cup. We're gonna put the lid on and let this cook up. Forgot to add potato slayer. I mean, just use salt, pepper, that kind of stuff. You don't have to have potato slayer. Let me give this a stir. And I'm gonna add a little bit more bone broth, and we're gonna throw a potato on the floor. These green beans, they're fresh. And so I'm gonna end up throwing them in just a minute, but I do wanna cut them down because I don't want the pieces of green bean to be this large. So I'm really cutting them probably into thirds, keeping it simple, but just more like bite-sized pieces. I think we're actually at the stage where we can throw these in. Okay, let those steam as well. Okay, just give this a stir every once in a while. We're just letting everything cook up, soften up a little bit. So I guess you can probably call this a hash. That's probably what I would call it, but you know, just a kind of a mixture of all the things. This is looking pretty good. Let me leave the lid off for a minute here. Oh yeah, the potatoes are nice and soft. Add back in the sausage so it can heat back up. And y'all, this is it. Like, we're ready to serve. So easy. I mean, so crazy easy. You got all your food groups right here. It may not be the most beautiful dinner ever, but let me tell you, it's one of the easiest. All right, so my husband is actually having to work late tonight, which almost never happens. So he can't come down right now and taste this, but let me just give it a little taste. Let's get all the elements here. Ooh, it's hot. This is like actually one of my favorite things. I love potatoes. I love green beans. I love Italian sausage. Why not just mix them all in a bowl? It's so good. The flavor is so good. Everything is cooked to perfection. You just can't go wrong. And it's seriously like 20 minutes, done. Our verse today comes from John 14:6. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more just like this, make sure you check out the other videos in this week-long series where every day I'm showing you what we have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a super busy week, trying to eat at home for every single meal. And so far, it's going pretty well. But check out the other videos, and you've got a couple more coming, so subscribe and stay tuned if you want to see more. Hope you're having a great week.